Hi, friends and fellow viewers. Welcome to yet another episode of Coffee Conversation powered by the Lions Club of Mumbai Shining, the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and India Business Group Chamber of Commerce, IBG. The name of today's series is The Emerging Lawyer. Today's topic of conversation is cyber law and information security. It's not as difficult as you think. Today, Mr. Mansoor Thakral and I, Jolly Singh, will be hosting and co-hosting this conversation respectively. For our today's coffee conversation, we have today with us Mr. Dipak. Mr. Dipak has immense experience of more than 20 years in the legal field and has worked for several top-notch organizations like Hindustan Unilever Limited, National Stock Exchange IT Limited, and Hutchison Global Private Limited, Singhania and Company LLP, International Legal Consultants, etc. He has hands-on experience in cyber law and information security, intellectual property management, including international IP registration, contract management, dispute resolution, including litigation. He is based in Mumbai, having his affiliates in major cities of India and abroad. We welcome you, sir. Now, now let's get started with today's conversation. Over to you, Mansoor.
Thank you, Jolly. All right. Welcome, Dipak sir, on this conversation today. So before we plunge into the whole conversation, sir, so we would like to know a little bit, sir, about why did you enter into cyber laws and what motivated you to explore this particular field, sir?
See, earlier I was working in a corporate. 2008, I started my practice. There are two areas I chosen for my practice area: cyber law and IT. So it's it's emerging field where a lot of new things were there. Very few were having expertise over this subject. So it's always better when you are entering into a field where very few experts are already there in the market. That would be the advantage. You are moving first, and apart from that is basic when you look at cyber law, everything is moving in a e-world. Whether we talk about business, entertainment, personal life, so everything is moving in e-world, cyber world. So there were all the problem of a future would be having some kind of online angle in it. So sooner or later there will be more and more will be coming in this area. That time, and it's very dynamic field. So it's unlike other legal field, you need to have this is always in all legal matter you need to have a subject matter of a basic platform or basic area in which you are working. Like a business law, you should have a little knowledge on the business side, and sports law, you need to know a little bit about sports. Not it should not be the ethic level, but at least you should have a working knowledge of the same. Same in a technology law also, you need to have a working knowledge of the law also, technology. So that really helps you in advising your client what ways they can do. That's something which helped me in choosing, or rather chose the cyber law and IP, and then there's a lot of intertwining between IP and cyber law. So that really, as we go process, we'll just have a few small story on real life incidents we will discuss.
Definitely, sir. So when we talk about now as the as the technology is growing and around the world and in India also specifically, sir. So we have seen that when you talk about technology being implemented in law firms in particularly, sir. So why do you think the technology adoption when it comes to law firms is a little bit slow in India comparatively in abroad?
It's various reasons for that. So the first of all is the budgetary issue, or but I always of the firm believe whatever you spend on a technology, it's really help you immediately and sometimes in the long run. Because investment technology never goes waste. Way we say your investment in any investment, whether you are investing in a relationship or you're investing in any kind of study or subject or any area, it never goes waste. Specifically, study we always say that similar technology our firm believe if you have an infrastructure, if you have a proper system, IT, and also things really pay you immediately most of the time and sometimes in a long run. So, but here the mindset we are very slow in adopting a new. It's more on a change management. But if you are now in a court proceeding also, rather than keeping big briefs and also thing, they expect you to have it on a tablet or something or some device. So that could be now recently. Supreme Court has also started a live streaming of the constitutional bench. So this is something which is very good development, and now we can file all proceeding online. Okay, Mr. Online to say, and COVID has given a lot of push also, like a hybrid and also saying uh, video hearings and also things which were not never imagined by anybody. We will have those kind of things. But I would say, if you look at the COVID profile, so that was something brighter points are like a digital push. Now everybody has adopted the digital one very easily now and without of much problem, which otherwise could have taken 5 or 10 years from now to achieve the similar adoption of a technology. So that's a good also. And as far as coming back to the court question, why law firm is all about how we are perceiving the investment in the technology. So I think in the Indian context, we are not giving a due importance or we are not looking at possible benefit out of the investment in technology. That's why we are little slow in adopting it.
Okay. So you have a 20 years of experience in the legal field with working like top-notch organizations. So could you please share a little bit about your experiences, like how it has been with the 20 years of your journey, the professional journey, sir?
So I would say initially I worked for a corporate, then I started on my own, and I was say just in a corporate. When I was in a corporate, the things were different. You are always like acting as a coordination between external counsel and your in-house team. Okay, so like HR team and other team, they approach you for some admin team or like IT team, or they approach you for various requirements, and then you are having you may have to refer to the external attorneys, external counsel, and you coordinate amongst. So that's the role of a more of a coordinator. You are not looked upon as an expert, but you have to coordinate with the expert. That's something which is a litigation side. But various internal matter, you act as a advisory role. You play. You advise them. HR come up with their own typical query. You advise them what to do. IT team. Then you are drafting agreement. You are settling agreement. Then say agreement settling is altogether different. There's a commercials also. There are also legal angles also. Then we need to educate our team what you are agreeing for, what kind of a clause we are putting, what will be the impact of it. So it's apart from a commercial term, there are a lot of terms which involve you should have a deep knowledge on the same, and that when you are advising, you play the role of advisor. So that in-house there is a two type of role. One was in-house you are acting as an advisory role, you are playing on a certain aspect. On a certain issue, you are just coordinating with external uh, experts and counsel. And when you are in a so and again in corporate you are dealing with the problem of one entity. Now when you are working as a practicing a lawyer, so there you have a different role to play. You have mainly when there are two area in law firm. One would be the litigation and one would be the non-litigation. When litigation, you are the one who is representing your client before the court. If you are hiring counsel, then counsel will pay, but you are the one who is looked upon by your client as expert in particular area of the field or a subject matter which is interested in. So that you are playing the role of expert end to end when you are in a practice. But wherein a corporate or in-house role, you have a dual role, advisory plus you have a certain time you are acting as just a coordination with the expert. So here, something which is in-house counsel come to you as a practicing lawyer, they expect you to advise on a certain issue. So it is non-litigation, it's purely advisory role you are playing, which is the highest role in a you are playing advisor role. And whereas in a practicing side, there are two roles. You are acting as an advocate on a record, or you are counsel where you are representing client before the court, and you are why you are justifying before the court why this matter has to be given in favor of why it should be decided. So this is something which role you are playing when you are playing as counsel. So counsel is the highest area where you can elevate it in the practice. So these are the two broadly area that, and so far my practice is because I have more restricted practice on a non-litigation side. I've been acting on a cyber law and information security aspect, then IPR, and I was a arbitrator for domain name dispute, which are like somebody has misused some domain name, which is confusingly similar to yours. Then you have a process to those domain, and I'm mediator also, trained mediator also. So you are, since the mediation is something which is the talk of the town, from a president of India, prime minister of India, or minister, everybody's talking about a mediation, and that's something which is people are looking at the mediation as a very good option to resolve the dispute among the party amicably. So that's something which is the area where, and apart from this, when because I was practicing, I have freedom to endure in the various other avenues like a teaching and also things which we cannot not possible when you are in a full-time job. You may have very limited scope of engaging with university, or that's something where we are university when we are engaged. I was a faculty with Mumbai University. I was teaching cyber law to LLM students. So this is something which you cannot do it on a regular basis if you are engaged with some kind of a full-time job or something. That advantage of practice is you can choose your client, you can choose your mentor, and you can choose other activity based on your liking and your growth, what you're looking at. That's the advantage. The disadvantage of a practice is you don't get a monthly check. So that's a disadvantage of working for yourself and reporting to them.
So as you mentioned, mediation is literally like a very top-notch thing that's required in the industry, which are at times it is a very difficult position also. So could you like share some like stories about it, or a particular incident that has taken place where you have been a mediator in this particular situation? How did that go for you, sir?
I'd say mediation is in the simplest term, we can define it like guided negotiation between two parties. See, it's always say sitting across the table, talk it out. So this is something which is the best way to resolve any dispute. But most of the time, party are not in talking terms, or even if they are talking, there's a lot of emotional charge at both the sides. So real issue is the hide somewhere, but nobody wants to reveal the real issue. So in we always call it the two aspects. One is the position and one is interest. Position is I have taken a certain position. I am not moving from that position. I want this. Another side that I will not give you more than this. So these like a two person are taking a different position which are not in agreement with each other. Whereas the real interest would be different for each, but they are not revealing it. Like the simplest example of often quote in a mediation context, like two daughters are fighting for orange. Mother saw this and she intervened and say, "Why you are fighting for?" So one daughter says, "I want peel of the orange." Others say, "I want pulp of the orange." So there is nothing is there. So both are fighting for the same orange, but their object and their interest is different for that orange. So it can be easily resolved if you know the interest of the party. Here the interests of both the daughters are unique, where you can have a increase the pie. It's not mediation is not like you take 50%, you take 50%, and it's over. It's not a mediation. It's where we need to look into the interest. Here the interest is very simple. One need a peel and another need a pulp. So that's something which we need to go and say. There are like in most of the mediation matter, say I do often commercial mediation and family matters related mediation. So in both the case, although it's a two different extreme, I would say one is a commercial and one is a personal life. But one thing is common in both. At both the type of a matter is highly loaded with a lot of emotion. So we may think there is a less emotion involved in commercial matter, but no, there is also a lot of emotions involved. A lot of ego is there. So my job as a mediator is to remove those layer of the emotion and bring the party to the bare minimal interest level. So where we are talking about bare interest level resolution of a dispute, various options can be generated which not otherwise generated. Say, just as recent as today's 2 p.m. I received yesterday we have a vacation where it's like a typical case of a matrimonial dispute where it's a divorce, but we have a serious negotiation about what will be the alimony will be payable by the husband to wife. So that amount was very so it's like just to give you a number to understand the context. Demand started with like a 50 lakhs plus 1 BHK. 1 BHK in Mumbai, we don't know where it is, but even if any area, it will not cost you. In suburb, it will be lesser, but around 1 CR or something. And
Right.
from boy side, it was like a 10 lakh or something. So after a series of a negotiation, back and forth, we reach a phase where uh, it's like a difference is like a 30-40. Okay. Then it was like a then it's offer of a 35 given to the court. Then they didn't agree. Then we part yesterday evening with the 35 from one side and 38 from another side. This is where we have parted. So it's hardly 3 lakhs. So we are looking at then my job was to make them realize what is the best alternative for the court proceeding. This is the best chance for you to settle the matter at a mediation rather than dragging it in a court where you don't know what you will get. See, you may have a broad range, but you will not be precisely pinpoint. I will get X amount, nothing less, or I don't have. So that precision is going to be missing. Plus, it will be subject to appeal. So it may end up in another 10 year or something. So I highlighted only one single point again and again. We are looking at something you will get it after 10 years. Till then, you cannot have a second marriage or something. And you have to attend all proceedings, all dates and everything. So you are investing a lot of time and energy in those proceedings to resolve this issue. Whereas here, then I think, okay, we are ending with this. So now we have a typical scenario. Uh, we will sleep over this matter for a day, and you need to revert with whether you are agreeable to offer of other side. Offer from one side is 35 and other is 38. So the difference of 3 lakhs. So then you are having a concern, you agree to give me call or update me before 2 p.m. To my surprise, I received a call from both the sides. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So I was expecting I will not get a call from I will pay mediation, but it is more to my surprise. It is successful. They agreed. Then okay, now you both agree, and then also we discuss. If both agree, I will have a toss of the coin or something, or I can split them out.
Uh-huh.
So we are now arrived at the solution like a 36.5. So this is something we have to say. Now look at say we started from a 10 lakhs, 50 lakhs plus 1 BHK. Now you settle somewhere in a 36.7, 36.5. So these are like a very dynamic where, and there are cases where you get shocked also. Like it starts with the thing, first meeting, they say, I want to live with husband. Second meeting, they say, no, I don't want to live with my husband. I want to. So many times party don't reveal their true intention. They are just covering up their true interest and everything, and it's very difficult. But we need to develop a good rapport with party, make them open, and here I don't have any authority over the outcome. I would always say in the court proceeding, judge in the driver's seat, they decide what you will get based on a legal right. But in a mediation, you are in a driver's seat, you are deciding the outcome to decide how to resolve this issue. My job is to give you generate as many as option to resolve this issue. And I have a control over only one aspect of how to conduct the process. Nothing beyond that. But most of the time, party do come to the common ground and they resolve the issue. And when matters are resolved, we need to give credit to party rather than me because they are the one who decided the outcome, not me.
So the way you're explaining it, sir, I suppose so that stress and that amount of what you must have gone through, so I can just imagine it, how it went for you.
But it's like a lot of energy, a lot of patience you require. It's like you're dealing with two persons' life. And it's in a matrimonial, it's not two persons, two family. This is not only the either side. Their parents are also involved. They are also emotionally charged. And say, party will say, I need to discuss with my family. I want to take their okay and also things. So there are a lot of there are like two sets of people are involved. One is a decision maker and one is decision influencer. So sometimes I am also confused who is making decision, whether the party or their parents. So,
Right.
but it's always sooner we figure out who is a decision influencer, who is a decision maker. So we try to involve them also. And say, end of the day, I would say lawyer presence also makes a lot of difference because end of the day, lawyer they are advising that client what is good for or not. So I always say advocates are like a director of their and parties are actors only.
Right. So, but like as you mentioned with mediation with this particular matter, has there been any case when it has come to like an with cybersecurity or a particular IPR kind of a case where you had to actually be like a mediator in such cases? Have you come across with such case?
No, I have not involved myself in a IP because something which is yet not taken a central stage or people are not. But I heard to matter where like it's like one of the famous jeans company. They are many. They found somebody is copying their mark. Okay, they in somewhere in Ludhiana. So they taken a necessary proceedings for stopping of that. We call it infringement proceeding also state. And over a discussion or during a mediation, they realize quality of a product what they manufacture is better than what they manufacture. Okay. So then, and they realize this guy giving employment to many local people, which otherwise not available to them. So during the conversation or this mediation, they come up with the idea like they will give the franchisee to this or like outsource manufacturing unit for the brand. So this is something which say this started with the litigation for a stopping in production of a jeans which is infringing their brand. And in mediation, they end up with the giving the same person uh, manufacturing on their behalf. So it's a contract manufacture. These were this kind of things come up only in a mediation setup. And if you're looking at mediation, it's even like a Ayodhya Mandir case also. It was involved. The mediation was involved. So they're like now mediation is getting everywhere, and it's sooner to become a mainstream. So where everybody looking for a quick and easier side. And a difference in a mediation and court is a mediation is like a future oriented, where we are looking at how you will live with a certain problem and resolve it in the future. Whereas in other cases, like in court cases, we are doing more of a post-mortem. What was done, why it was done, whether it's accordance with the law or not. So there in mediation, we may have a dash of a legal, but we are more looking at the future, how to go on with the life. Okay, so how to live with this problem, how to resolve this problem, how it would be we are doing. And so there are like a small other like we have one mediation. We cannot say mediation is more of a guided negotiation where we negotiated with the from I am from one brand and other side was infringing their domain name. So they were using like a brand name plus Mumbai and .com. So they were using it. So we had a series of negotiation where they agreed for transferring those domain and brand trademark registration and they transfer it. Similarly, there was one case where we are involved in a uh, movie where one number was reflected, which happened to be my client's number. So it's not purely IP related matter, but it's more of a privacy related issue where my number has been reflected in the movie and I am end up receiving a n number of call every day because that was a number of a lead actress in a movie. So there were they remove the number and all thing, but copy or change. All movie are circulated from apart from official media. It's circulated. So she was kept on receiving calls, and then finally they settle it. We are like a we can, I cannot say it's a mediation, but it's a more of a negotiation where we resolve this IP and privacy related issue.
So that's so true on that. So moving on to the next question. Okay. So when you talk about cyber law, okay, how does it actually work in the real society? Like, people have this mindset. Like we had a few individuals have come up on our show also, like have given us tremendous stories. Like, it's nothing less like a James Bond kind of a work. So, but I want to understand, so like, how does cyber law actually work in the real world or in the real society?
Just initially, I said we are living in a cyber world where everything like our business, entertainment, social life, everything is moving forward. So let's take few examples from a real life. Okay, say one of the case, it's US based case where uh, he was a lorry driver, young chap of around 18, 19, 19 20-year old, and he met with one fatal accident happened because of him, and there was like a proceedings is pending before the court in US. Other side, they discover social media profile of this lorry driver. He said, "I'm alcoholic and I work for XYZ company."
Okay.
They say they're like in US there is a process of exchanging documents and also so in this case they share this document with the other side because of this document of this shared profile of this person. I'm alcoholic. See, that put the company on a back seat. They have to settle out of court settlement. They do. Why? Because this word, somebody said, I'm alcoholic and I work for so and so company. He's a driver there. Okay.
Okay.
So somebody is a drinking problem and is driving a vehicle for your organization. You are not gonna you check on this. So now
Right.
we are so there are like people are very much having social media policies for it. Now in India we are struggling with basic IP policy and IT policy. Now people are looking for a social media policy also, where we need to know what they can upload and all that. Like in the financial sector, people are having a typical mandate, like somebody having a price sensitive information. So insider trade rules are prohibiting them from discussing with outsiders. So it's like they need to keep it private. And second example on a movie, like say one of the case in UK, person has a habit of recording the first day first show, and he uploaded on BitTorrent, and what in return he gets kudos from the unknown friends. Okay, nothing else. But what was he ended up with a 6 month imprisonment. Okay. And observation of a judge was very critical in this. They might say, okay, this seems to be fun to the various people, but it's not fun. What you are doing is hurting the center of the entertainment industry. If you're doing it on a repeated basis, you will not get a quality entertainment. So this was broadly what was the observation of a judge in that matter. So now, if you're looking in the Indian context, we are the fourth largest downloader of a and movie download. We are like very quick at that. And we say just a simple example I can give. We have been taught by our parents and everybody, chori karna galat. Okay, paap and also whatnot. So, so we never go in any music store and pocket the CD without paying for it.
Right.
But same teaching get evaporated when we go online. Okay, we copy left, right, center without giving any due respect. जिसने बनाया, whether he is earning out of it or not, whether he will get any royalty or any money or he will pay it or not. We don't consider this act of downloading movies, songs, etc. as an offense. Unfortunately, this was the mindset where we are. And say, to utter surprise of mine, I have seen the. Say, I had some work. One company secretary visited my office. He shared his pen drive to take some document from it because it's a heavy size. That pen drive had certain movies.
Okay.
I just had a word with that. He, of course, what you are doing it. Then they say, download. See, you say it's not something. And say, I'm 100% sure if you check somebody's instrument right now, any mobile phone or thing, you end up getting something which will be good enough for convicting that person under the copyright infringement. Downloading something and using it. So it's a digital piracy. So that is common everywhere. People are copying left, right, center without anything. So on this context, a movie Maji the Mountain. It was released on a BitTorrent before actual release. So despite of having a good story base, Irfan Khan role was very good and everything. While I have not seen the movie, but I had heard it's a very good movie. But on box office, unable to get a good return or no return or big return to the producer of the movie. So these were the copying of digital piracy hurt at center. Now on a commercial, if you're going on bank frauds, so we normally heard that a lot of banking frauds are happening. So how the banking fraud happening is about, if you're looking at pre-online era, where what we are doing it, robber has to actually go to the site of the bank. They need to always take a recce of that place. Then who is at what time security guard go for the lunch, dinner, and whatnot. They need to do a lot of analysis on a physical location of place, but not the online. Is very person sitting on some different corner of the world. He is getting access to a server and also. So, but now, before we go into little more on that actual day, let's go few days before what they do. They create a Mool account. Mool account is bank account open with the big KYC or where you do never able to reach that person on whose name the account has been opened. So they create a series of Mool account ready. Before the D-Day, they get a credential of the person's bank account or corporate bank account, and how they acquire. They have a phishing mails and also things they trap, and they somehow or they call and social engineering they do, and they acquire the banking credential of yours. And sometimes not only that, they are parallelly insuring your mobile phone. They get a duplicate SIM also. So on D-Day, they are ready with everything. They have a Mool account. They have your banking credential. They have control over your mobile device. Means your device having your SIM card is not operating, but they are having a SIM card, new SIM card issued in their name. they are getting all OTP on their new SIM card. On D-Day, it's usually a long weekend kind of thing, like Friday, Saturday, or Monday. There's 3 or 4 day holiday. They do those activity in such a way. On next working day, you realize my bank account is the XYZ amount has been withdrawn. And how they do the withdrawal? For example, they withdraw 10 lakhs from your account. They transfer it to one account. From that one account, they transfer 1 lakh to the or 20 or 5 lakhs in two account, and then they create a chain of it, and it's become ATM withdrawable amount. Then its amount will be withdrawn, and then and person is whose name account will hold full account, he will get X percentage of it, and rest the money he has to give back to that person. So it's the entire. And meanwhile, now you as account holder, you left with the two remedy. You file proceedings against the is all move account holder. That's the criminal side. You file complaint, and they get caught hold, or police gets okay. Then they are behind the bar and also thing. But here you are not getting any commercial benefit. If they able to get the money hold, then you will get, not otherwise. Then you have other civil remedy before against the bank because of your lack of security and other measures. This mole account is, so you have a remedy against the banks who allow that account to be opened with a weak KYC or no KYC kind of things. And you can have an action against your own bank where you are holding the account. And then depending upon negligence on your part also, whether you are given your credential on a platter to the other side. So if they then that case you will not get a full amount, but you will get a partial amount, but you will have a death remedy. So this is something which is similarly on a personal stuff. Many times various images and everything has been shared by the one person to another person. In case of typical case where in UK it was like people where I have to upload particular part of your body and say this belongs to so and so kind of thing. So that kind of things were there. And here where there was kind of recently some university, Chandigarh University or some other university, there were the cases where one girl is recording the videos of other girls while having a shower and also this so like a peeping Tom and also this similar cases were there. And this it reminds me one case where ESPN sports she was in a hotel room and somebody recorded while she was changing. So this video has been uploaded, but when somebody is downloading that video, it's along with it comes a Trojan also. So I always say when you're downloading something, you are downloading something which can hurt you and your machine also. And your machine can act as a zombie which can be activated to other attack they want to do. So that kind of thing, and you don't realize that your machine is compromised. So that you need to be very careful that nothing is free in this world. If you're downloading something, it may come with a virus also. So you need to stay away from something, and at the same time, you should not be uploading movie or something or other person's copyright work. You may be held responsible. In India, we are not having those kind of more cases, but in Chennai, there are 3 youngsters who have been arrested or some kind of action has been taken against them for uploading movies. So I always advise my participant and audience to change before they change. Currently, we are not taking a very stringent action, but you never know. You will be the first example for people to change. But don't become that first example. Change that before that.
No,
so I think I discussed a different realm of the cyber cases what we deal with. So
actually, I've given an in-depth about everything in an overall thing, sir. So the one thing missing on this is, sir, like you have already like even talking about cyber law, so we have spoken about everything else in fact. But just to add one more point into it, so we would like to know something about sports. Okay, like so is there any particular law when it comes to sports or anything as such like that?
No, they say sports law work little different than other law. Like IT law, we have a specific IT Information Technology Act. So,
Mm-hmm.
but in sports we don't have. It's like a typical structure where United Nation is on top. Then like a we have a IOC international say, and then like a different like a federations are there. So at a like a FIFA for a football, ICC for cricket, and then at a national level, like we have BCCI, which is controlling for body for the cricketing for the national level. Then we have like Maharashtra Cricket Academy or Bengal, so that controls the state level. So dispute arise in this sporting. See, in Indian context, FIFA and also thing is not that we may enjoy the FIFA football games and also thing or some other sport, which is more developed in UK, Europe and US, but not so. We have now different kind. There's like that IPL, and there are many leagues are there now. Football leagues are there. Then Kabaddi league. Now we have. I understand that Coco league is also started. So that's something. So there's a lot of money and everything is there in this system. Okay, and if you're looking from a regulation point of view, there's no specific law. So cricket is governed by the ICC rule, then BCCI, and then so in case of a dispute, resolution would be internal resolution of a dispute mechanism would be there. So that, but unfortunately, in Indian context, there are very few federation or that they have a very good dispute resolution mechanism is there in place. So these were something which felt at across the globe. So they have a specific courts of arbitration for sports, a specific mechanism where appeal lies. So you have to resolve a dispute internally. You have a mediation, arbitration, or you can have a committee which resolve a dispute with uh, player and association or player per se. Those will be resolved, and then appeal should lie before the CAS. We call a court of arbitration. Right? It's a court of arbitration for sports. It's in Spain, I understand, and they have various branches in various parts of the world where you are putting those matter and they act as an arbitration and they are a final authority for the dispute before them. And there's a WADA is there, anti-doping cases. So that time ban is will be. So they are like a lot of so it's work typically and a different one, a typical law where we have a specific the national code has a jurisdiction. Even say read jurisdiction also is there, but it's highly say government intervention is heavily discouraged in this kind of area. And a recent example of there was a ban on a hockey match or football or that was ban was there because we have not followed the transparency and some rule of that federation. So this kind of thing, it's a more of a international rules and body comes in a picture when sports laws come. And I would remind you there is a lot of money in this. There like I have a few friends. They are settled in Spain. They are like specialized in proceeding before the courts of arbitration for sports, and they are operating from them. They are saying this is something where we are getting a lot of dynamic like that, and then a lot of things get involved. Like in say in IPL context, every year there will be auction is there, switching of side. So then in later football and also things a lot of leagues are involved, and the leagues of different types are involved. See, in IPL is very simple structure where 8 or 10 or 12 teams are playing with each other, and there are a structure where there would be a lot of club playing at A level. It's in Indian Mumbai context with Kanga League and also see. There are different level is there. You are playing at level 4, 5, 1, and you are escalated to the different level. Same structures are there in a quite highly sophisticated structure are there. Then there will be transfer of players are there, and that's a lot of things. There's a lot of contractual aspects. So in sports level, if you look at the IP is involved, contract is involved, local labor law is involved. So it's a combination of a various plans. If you look at it, you will surprise NEFT is also involved. Like a particular shot is played is particular, and somebody was ready to pay the crazy money for that. So it's a lot of things are involved in this.
No, so that is we have actually honestly, we started with cyber law over here, and you have given out so much examples on how actually law works in different fields, sir. So very thank you for that. So you have given all the information out of this, sir.
My
pleasure. Yes. So coming back, sir, to the topic now in cyber law. Sir, so we have understood the theory of cyber law, sir. So now if you could put some more you could bring us to light on the term information security. So what would be on your benefits if you could tell us, how does one keep themselves safe when it comes to saving the information online, and how is that security a normal man or woman should go through? What is your advice on that, sir?
I would personally you need to follow the one concept minimalistic approach. Okay, minimalist approach is a very dynamic in a nature. I have a less property, so I have to manage less number of properties. Say I have 10 property, I have to manage the 10 property. So if you have a minimalist structure, I live at one place, other place I can hire and I can stay at a resort or some good hotel. So I don't have multiple. So I have a less headache to do. Similarly, when you are online, you need to be very particular how much I need to disclose.
Okay.
When you are disclosing too much of information, you are not only updating your friends and circle, but you are updating the fraudster also. I am going for a vacation. Okay, but why you need to disclose to entire world? I am and with family I am going out for a 10 days. So you are giving a information to the robbers come and rob my that kind of thing. Then sometimes you are revealing card or something when you are say a restaurant or something and you are giving your entire thing you are recording. You are giving your credit card. That also and then say another approach typical for to avoid a bank fraud. Give the minimum information, or rather you can keep a two separate bank account. One I am using it for my all my transaction, which is not linked to my. I don't have an internet banking on the same. Okay, so that would like something which I am using it a normal way of a bank. Another I require like say floating account where I require 50,000 or 1 lakh per month to spend on a various online transaction or something. So amount you need to decide. I am keeping a balance up to that limit in that. So that is online account which I am using, or you can have a credit card with the internal setting of a limit. Online transaction 1 lakh on swiping 20,000. So you can have a sub limit for the same. And other area where I want to say how much say many times it's purely on a personal relation. People are ready to share their intimate pictures, video to their partner. They always say, this is something which you should avoid at all costs. Say things are good at now, relation is, but what if things goes wrong? You part with each other, and that very picture or something can be uploaded on site which way there is some kind of problem. What if it's circulated? Sometimes just to impress one side or other, they share the picture. And there are cases where Abbasing case, girl of the JNU has just committed suicide. Those images were circulated amongst some group of the college. Somebody's marriage has been get solved. So there are many things I always say why to share something where you are not supposed to share. So there I would say you need to stuck to the approach of a minimalistic approach. Reveal there are like each individual have a known me, unknown me. So something which is known in the world, everybody knows about that aspect of your life. you need to keep it that surface minimal, need to know basis. And how if you are revealing too much about yourself, you are inviting too much of trouble in your life. Whether it's the intimate image of yours or your plan to some trip or something, or you are revealing unnecessary detail, or like same way you should think twice before say it's a simple example. If somebody gives you a gift, will you take it? You will think twice. It's an unknown person. But same students goes out of window when we are dealing in online world. We accept the request from unknown person. Why we need unless they are like something which we need to think twice before acting. Online world is very fast, but we need to learn to slow down in this online world and think twice before acting or doing anything.
So that's
I
true.
hope I have answered your question.
Yes, you have, sir. You have cleared this thing. Just to add one more point to that, sir. So now you have given the basic thing for how normal people can keep the information and security safe. So when we talk about people like from the corporate side, when we talk about law firms, or we talk about any professional person. So because I mean, when we talk about like law firms, and I mean, there's always data of data when we have metadata and all that particular thing, which is approachable, or which we have these spam mails coming up, or you accidentally send emails, you receive them. So and then when we talk about the term metadata, which is a very pronoun kind of a term which has come out right now around for all of us. And so how does one's company keep safe from like all such things which is going on currently around the world on a professional?
Yeah. So there are broadly say today I'm not an expert on how to, but I have a working knowledge, and I'm giving you the few insight on the same. There are like say you should know what are the data and regulatory account you need to keep it here. Not so it's like a hash kind of thing you need to, so this you cannot have in plain text kind of thing. So what are the regulatory obligation on you, like a GDPR and all such thing, they have a heavily hefty penalty. So those two you should be mind what regulatory data you have and what regulatory obligation you have to in respect of that particular data. Then you need to find out what is the crown jewel of my organization, something which is very core secret of my business. If it's revealed outside, it will hurt me most. So that crown jewel information you should segregate. So and then you need to have a different mechanism for a different sets of information at your end. Regulatory information, you have no option but you have to comply with the law. Otherwise, hefty penalties. That like in Europe, it's a GDPR. In US, HIPAA and also thing for the medical sensitive information. In India, we are dealing under Section 43A of the Information Technology Act, which defines what is the personal sensitive information, and only sensitive information in the 73A. So that's something which you need to be very particular what kind of a personal sensitive and personal information I'm having it as a corporate, and what are the obligation under the local law and other applicable law. If you're dealing with European client or European national and also things, so you may have a data. Then if you're dealing with the medical records of the US persons and people, so you need to know about what is the regulatory obligation and you have to comply with that. Then crown jewel, then you need to have a more the efforts. You need to create a more layer. It's like a chakraview kind of things. You have a more, it's an onion layer security we call it, and one is egg layer. Egg layer means one layer is somebody's in, it's in, and onion layer we have multiple layer before he reached to the crown jewel of your organization. And then should be false alarm, honey trap, and also things. You need to create where you get alerts. There are two sides to it. One is like a doing it or preventive, and one is like a damage control. You realize somebody is, then how to divert that person from your crown jewel to some kind of honey pot, which honey trap you have created. That kind, and then post event, what kind of action you need to take. So you should have, then you should have from a security point of view, what would be the DR side for it, disaster recovery side, and business continuity. Say, if I am attacked, but what if I am not able to serve my customer? Like you say, National Stock Exchange, they have two parallel sides. One is at Bangalore, and one is Mumbai. So if one is down, other will come in, patch up, and you will realize there is we are working from some other side also. They have two sides. So that way, and it again depends on what kind of operation you are into. Whether you are like a as business critical like a stock exchange where a delay of a few seconds is a huge. So then accordingly you need to invest in a security mechanism like a DR site, business continuity, and you need to engage a professional who are good at that. This the entire system, and then you need to create have a blue team, red team kind of concept. A blue team is something defending your IT infrastructure, and the red team is a offensive team which is attacking from outside without having any. So then you need to strengthen your system by having this kind of a red team and blue team kind of concept that you are engaging external people to check the uh, strength of your system and how vulnerable or otherwise your system is. And then they will give you the more and more recommendation control needs to be put in place. So that will help you in strengthening your IT information and structure.
All right, sir. All right. So moving on to the next question, sir. So you have played different roles and for different students and in numerous in all your parts of life and professionally with different organizations. So what has been the fun aspect and which is like your favorite moments would you like to share with us?
I would say teaching is where I enjoy the most. And second comes the mediation, where I enjoy a lot. Okay. And see, these two, both the activity, I would say, currently I'm making less money on that front, but I enjoy the most. And other aspect, when advisory role, when you are playing pure advisory role, when you are guiding a client what to do and what not to do. Like a typical case where we recently, it's a small matter where somebody has uploaded some product which infringing somebody's brand. So it's like say I earlier also said IP and cyber law is like intertwining in such a way. It's like a copyright in violation. At the same time, it's a online issue also. You are uploading somebody's without permission also. So typical case where notice has been received, they said we are removing, but it's not actually removed because there was some problem with the Flipkart. That guy was not able to remove it. Finally, they get a step with the second notice. Then this matter was like a simple thing, but he's not able to remove it. Then he at least you change the image and everything, and finally it has been removed. And but this entire case where brand owner was expecting a huge underwriting and everything. So I always say we need to be a little particular about this, and we need to be more alert and giving a solution and adhere with those kind of a requirement rather than taking things lightly. Most of the time, uh, we have chalta hai attitude that hurts a lot in case of a non-compliance.
Right. Okay, so before I like end the professional part, I just want to have a last question for you. So as you said, you enjoy teaching. Okay. So in particularly, so as you were teaching, as you're into like teaching and everything, must have been a few like students that have come up to you and asked you for advice on how to go on with their careers and everything. So how did you cope with that, and how did you like guide them into such a situation? Like when they say that they want to do cyber law and all that.
I mean, I always say there are two aspects you need to check in any business or profession you are in or particular field. Key, what is the current phase of that particular niche area, like a cyber law or sports law, it's very niche area. To be very honest, on a cyber front, I would say it's not that developed currently. It's a forensic side of a cyber world is fully developed or where people are approaching forensic expert and you are in high in demand. But the same case doesn't hold good for the cyber lawyer. So you need to realize the end of the day, you need to earn bread and butter for yourself and sometimes much plus. So that whether you can able to get on, you need to judicially choose a field where you need to plot out what is the current phase in that particular field is or area of practices then, and what would be the phase it would be when I am clearing my law graduation, I will be coming in a practice. Second, what are the special quality or knowledge set I require to be successful in that particular field. If I want to practice in, say, cyber law, sports law, then I need to know who are the base lawyers in that particular area of field or base here, and then I should try to map what are my current skill sets are there. It's sort of SWOT analysis you need to do, and you need to find out where is the gap and what are the steps you can take to fill that gap. So that kind of a more methodological approach you need to take rather than simply because उसने ये लिया तो मैं भी ये लूंगा. Don't blindly run because he has a different skill set, he has a different background, he has a different set of networking. So these natural market is, say for example, is coming from a business family background. So they have a different network, and you are coming from a service. You are government servant son or daughter. So you have a different set of network, and he has a different set of network. So what works, and you have a different liking toward. And at the end of the day, I always believe life is too short. We should not be too serious about it also. But at the same time, you should be particular where you are heading yourself towards, and you need to check. You need to do your own SWOT analysis. Otherwise, and I always believe what is good for A may not be good for a B.
Fair enough, sir.
So we can just give you guiding principle, but at the end of the day, you need to take charge of your own life.
Definitely. That's a fact. All right. All right, sir. So then that's the end for the professional part. Now, sir, we want to really like dive into your personal life and understand your personal journey. So over to you, Jolly.
Thank you so much, Mansoor. So, sir, my first question for you would be that if not cyber law, what would have been your next preference? You have you explained how your journey has been and why you chose cyber and IPR over other fields of law and everything. But I really want to know, and our viewers also, that if not cyber and IPR, what would have been your next preference, and what would have been the strategy to choose that preference, the reason behind choosing that preference?
I would prefer certainly go for the faculty position or something that could be area which and to be very honest, that means I am planning for a faculty position 5 year or 10 year down the line. But I am not eligible for a few because I don't have a net set PhD. So by the time I will do my PhD and I will get or there the change of rule is also going on where professor of practice. You don't require PhD or something. If it's that happen is good. Otherwise, I will earn my PhD by this time. So that's how I plan. And you need to network with the people where you want to be. So that planning needs to be done well in advance. So I am always in touch with the academics and also staying. I am developing more and more contact with them. So sooner or later, something or other will click. So it's a gradual process where it churn after a couple of years. So you need to start your process well before you decided to do something. So I decided if I am looking at faculty position 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, I need to start working right now, not on a 0 year where I want that position.
Sure, sir. So also you mentioned how you were working in corporate sector when you started your career and then shifted to left corporate and then started your own practice and being a expert mediator and everything. So how that constant change in professional life has affected your personal life? Like how have
There are like
yeah,
a lot of ups and downs in a life, and you require a very good ecosystem to absorb those ups and downs in your life. Say there are like a few downs, like when I left a corporate job, it was like a bit low. You are not having something concrete in hand, your cash flow is affected, everything. But luckily for me, my family stood by me. They didn't question me with why you left full-time good job without having a much thing organized to generate income and also thing. They stood behind me. I would say that was a big plus in my life where I got a very strong support from my family and I have that ecosystem where and you need to then now I am in a phase where I choose what I need to do it. And at the same time, like a mediation or any other things, when you go so deep into it, you get involved in it. See, it's always taught to us or said to us, keep your personal and professional life separate. But we are human beings. Whether we like it or not, we are somebody problem becomes your problem. But we need to have some kind of system we need to develop and where we need to relook at the thing again and then you need to give your best for your client. But you are not supposed to bring their problem in your life. Okay, it's their problem and we are helping them in resolving those problems. So we need to keep it as objective as you can, but despite of your all efforts, somewhere down the line it comes in your personal life, but you need to create a system where you need to unwind and you need to keep remind yourself, I did my best for my client, and now whatever outcome of that matter would be, it is his luck or his uh, so that way you can then give your best and forget it. That's what we need to, and you need to rewind yourself. End of the day, you need to say. Luckily, my office and home is very nearby. I prefer to go home and have my lunch with family. So that's something. And when I go home, I play chess with my son. That's also unwinding. And so that, and then post dinner, we have a me and wife, we go for a half an hour walk or something. So it's another rewind. So when you are good, and I don't carry my mobile. So that's a best way. You need to then stay away from your device and also staying when you are at home. So you need to follow some few basic rules, and you can manage your work-life balance. I would say.
yes, sir. And like in today's rushing life, that when everybody is in rush, maintaining a very good work and personal life balance is very important for own mental sake as well. Everybody has been emphasizing the importance of mental health nowadays. So yeah, it's very important, and I'm like you, the way you have explained how you are maintaining it's commendable, sir. So my next question to you would be that like many students, like there has been a trend in like opting law as a career. Like students have been very much the way they were choosing medical and engineering. They have started like choosing law as like third most chosen field. So also like one of those trend also include that choosing which university to study, whether to study in our country or to go abroad. What is your like? What do you feel about it? What are the pros and cons of studying law in India and abroad? What do you suggest and prefer? What is your opinion in this?
Broadly, we can have a. It's not proper or crude way of a comparison in an Indian context. Cost of education will be much less compared to abroad. So it's expensive. And second, when you go abroad, you will study more about their law rather than Indian law. So that would be plus and minus of this system. And again, at India also, you can study at GLC will cost you X amount, but NLU will cost you Y amount. There is something private colleges will be in between. So like you may end up spending 4 lakh plus in India also by studying Jindal Global University and whatnot. So that kind of colleges will charge you at par with what foreign universities. So in that case, if you are going for Jindal kind of a repute college or university, there would be uh, cost-wise, it will be at par with what you end up spending in a foreign university or foreign colleges. But again, see, if you're looking at why medical student going out, Ukraine and other countries, they went for a medical education because it's cheaper compared to India. But in case of a legal study, it would be India would be cheaper compared to the foreign university and also. And there would be a lot of eligible criteria also. Another aspect also comes in picture. Many times people go for the further education in abroad rather than a primary law graduation, add-on courses and also that one can look into. And again, what kind of career path you are looking, what kind of field you are in. If you are involved mainly in the sports and other field, which has a more international field where it will more demand in the US, Europe. So if you are looking at that kind of then studying at those university or colleges where things are being taught or this thing you can see live or you can get internship with somebody is specialized in before the course of arbitration of the sports law. So you can go there and learn from where the real life actions are being there. That way you need to, I would say it's again, it's never a simple black and white kind of scenario. It's a gray area and again depending upon SWOT analysis of an individual and what kind of budget he has for it and a lot of many things comes in picture. But this broadly I can canvas what it is.
Sure, sir. So like also like out of curiosity, me and my viewers will really like to know, like while you act as an arbitrator, mediator between the parties, you see lots and lots of various situations and cases. So while playing that role, are you sometimes biased and or influenced by your own personal opinion, or you just stick and be as professional as you can?
I prefer to be as professional as one could be. And say mediation, if you talk about mediation purely, where you are very clear, keep my opinion, my view are my view. You are the party who are in control of outcome. What matter? I have X view, but my view is my view. Your view is something which is guiding your outcome. So mediation is very clear. Whereas in other area where you advise the client on certain issue, you are very much clear. It's something which is based advice. It's something which they should follow. But business world never work purely on a legal advice. They have their own business call needs to be taken. Sometimes they are aware of certain things not purely correct in a legal sense. I'm not talking about something illegal activity, but something which is like a purely commercial call, where they prefer not to go by your advice, which is the best advice you are given. So you should not be emotionally attached to your advice, your role. You need to take the decision of a business with pinch of salt and saying it's a business call. You did your job, you have given them a legal advice, you are in a recommendation position, you are not something which is binding on them. So you need to look on those aspects and then you need to go on your life and take everything with pinch of salt and at the end of the day you unwind yourself. Don't think too much about your business and your profession. You will be happier soul on earth rather than a other place.
Yes, sir. Sir, so all, like my last question would be like, what is your own personal and honest opinion about the today's trend of law in India? And it's like various emerging areas of practices. Since you are like, as you mentioned that you have been planning to get into the teaching line down the line in 10 years, coming 10 years, how do you think that cyber and IPR as like your field will be flourishing and coming out in like the coming years, and what other areas also, sir, you think about that, yeah, this is also gonna like flourish, and this is area of practice when like as of now there are like not so much people in the field, but in the coming years this is also gonna do very well.
I say, starting with a few IPR, I would say it's already fully grown kind of a practice area. Okay, cyber law is something which will be down the line. It will be much more in demand on a legal front also, because everything is moving in a cyber world. So anything which is connected in our life would be cyber world. Tomorrow, I will not be surprised. We will have a chip in our body that monitoring everything about us and also or whatnot. And we will have like in the future, we will have a driverless car. So what if the driverless car met with accident? Who will be responsible? By the owner of the car, or a manufacturer of the car, or software provider of the that automated car? Who will be responsible? What if update were not sent in time? What if update are sent in time but not updated by the owner of the car? So there are like a lot of questions we will need to go into. So it would be altogether different sets of question and things will be. So that's something which we robotics and all other field which is related to technology, new technology. That would be something will be more dynamic, and that would be something which we need to be discussed. That would be something more and more in demand. And sports law and also thing I am looking at, it will be in a more and more demand, because I always believe when more money are pure in at the stake, more system would be developed for the same for a it's a prevention. Now where the more leagues are coming in India, now we have leagues like IPL, hockey, kabaddi, kho and whatnot. So tomorrow there will be more such kind of events would be there. More money would be there. More sponsor would be there, and more lawyers would be required for those activities also. And lastly, I would say mediation, which is now talk of the town. After 5 or 10 years down the line, there would be a bright possibility. We'll have a separate bar for a mediational practitioners. Currently, what is that? Student may act as a mediator or a moot mediation and also things, but they are not able to practice till 5 years of practice, then 48 hours of a training and all that. And otherwise, if you have 15 years of experience, no training is required. That's a crude way of selection for a mediation. That's what rules are. So that rule will be developed, and people will start. Currently, we are pushing for a court next mediation, and people will understand the benefit of mediation, and then there will be a lot of public, a lot of good word will be spread for a mediation, and people will opting for the private mediations also. And those things would be the more developed down the 5 or 10 year down the line. Most probably 10 year down the line, there would be very good scope for a mediational practice as such. Currently, mediation bill is pending. It's to be put before the parliament, and also those things would be more and more unclear scenario would be getting clearer over a period of time, and it would be developed as a field as such for a good practice. And as many things are emerging, and I would say more you are like a future-oriented approach if you are having it. You need to identify which are the technologies currently being used will be fully grown in a then take another 4 5 year or 5 year down line when people having a problem with that system. Like a simple example, what we discussed about the driverless car. We are looking at invention, we are looking at the brighter side of it. Being a lawyer, we look about darker side of it. What if who will responsible for accident? So these things, as we grow, that will be developed, and that will create a more and more demand. And if If there are demand for it and there are less expert in there, you will get more money from that particular chosen group. And if you are not lucky, you know everything, but there is no demand for your service. So you need to learn few more skills rather than depending on one. Don't put all your egg in one basket. That's what financial planners tell us. Same way we need to implement in our legal profession also.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Like, it was great getting an insight in your personal journey and your personal opinions. Now I would like to invite Mansoor for taking the conversation ahead.
Thank you, Jolly. Okay, so Deepak sir, like this is another element which we call the fun element. So these questions are a little bit out of the box. So these are just for you to like just like chill a little bit. All right. Okay. So if you would not be a lawyer and you would be a sportsman, what sport you would be playing and why?
I would be the running marathons.
Okay. So, but why specifically running marathons?
I was doing this. I had a one full marathon, a couple of half marathons. So something which I would prefer to be. Sports person, running would be the best.
Okay, so you'd be a marathon runner.
Yeah.
Okay. Jolly, yes.
So also there is a long going on debate about a chai person and a coffee person. So what person you are? A chai person or a coffee person?
I am a Nirdalya. Independent candidate. I enjoy both.
Anything.
Okay.
Anything will work.
Yeah.
Okay. So given the time for you to spending time like professionally with your clients and I think or spending time with your family, as you said, so work-life balance is a must. What is your top-notch priority, sir?
I would say you need to ensure that at home front everything is good. Then it will help you in ensuring focusing on a work front. And you need to also ensure your work front everything is good, then you can able to focus. So it's like a cycle. So each peddling each other. So you cannot have a 100% great personal life and messy professional life, and 100% professional life and messy personal life. So you need to, even if you're getting 50-50 of both, you should be happy. I am surviving at a both end.
Definitely. Yes.
So also like there is a concept of Netflix and chill among the Gen Zs nowadays. So what do you prefer, like staying at home and chilling out with your family and watching Netflix, or just going out and exploring the nature?
See, it's like I would. It's not correct for me to say I have not seen any web series and all such thing. I do have that share, but I don't remember last 6 months or 8 months I have seen any web series as such. And my TV consumption is very limited. I uh, listen to a few YouTube talk or something that could be something which then unwinding in the nature or going out at something which would be a more preferred way, or spending time like I just mentioned about playing chess with my son, and these are the activities stress buster for me, and that's way. And I'm not a foodie also, so but I enjoy the food at the same time, because I always you need to have that neutral approach where happening or not happening doesn't make much difference to you. It's a very difficult target to keep in life. You should not be affected. End of the day, we are human beings, so we are affected. But we need to keep in such a way where you take everything with a pinch of salt and not too serious in your life. You have to enjoy. You get one life, enjoy it fullest. Don't go for 100% perfection. Even if you get reached nearby, you should celebrate it.
So like mentioning about food, I would like to know like what is your guilty pleasure? What gives you a guilty pleasure? What food you like to have?
I'd say I enjoy typical Mumbai vada pav. I enjoy a lot. So you can say, but I prefer conscious about it. I should not have it every day kind of thing. So once in a while, it's okay, not every day.
Yes,
Then
sir.
you should start try something like a South Indian or some other dishes. You should vada pav should not be every day. Something or other should be every day.
Yes, sir. Like keep exploring.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like
Other
it's like
exploring,
variety of
keep enjoying the same dishes again and again.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we're coming to the end of our conversations. I would like to thank our sponsors, the Emerging India Forum TIFF, IBG, Indian Business Group Chamber of Commerce, our technology partner, Prime Infotech, and our wonderful speaker today, Mr. Dipak Parmar. Thank you, sir, for this amazing conversation. And thank you to my co-host, Jolly Sheikh, today.
Thank you, Mansoor. Sir, it was great having you on our dice. Like we had such an amazing conversation, and like me being a law graduate, I have learned so much today. I can't even explain in words.
My pleasure. I really, both of you are very kind, and thanks for your kind comments.
All right.
I normally I try to behave, and I'm happy. You enjoyed the 1.5 hour we spent. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir.
Looking forward to you.
pleasure.
Looking forward to for the next conversation, so definitely that will happen very soon.
My pleasure.
All right, sir.
I will be always available for this kind of
Definitely, sir. All right, so take care and have a great day.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.